When Superman loses his only connection to humanity and tensions are high between Batman and Superman, who do you side with? Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where we take trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then review it dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. Today we're going to be looking at Injustice Volume 2. Superman has lost somebody very dear to him due to one of Batman's villains causing the massive crime. But Batman thinks that Superman may have taken this too far. So the question is, who is right? Batman or Superman? Personally, I side with Batman.
Nope! Oh! Superman!
Before we begin, this is Injustice, a separate universe from the main timeline, and while it's still happening right now in your local comic book store, it does not affect the main timeline. This is Year 1, Volume 2. And Superman lost Lois Lane because the Joker blew up Metropolis before Superman killed him. And then Superman decided there would be no more crime in the world. I'm alive. Those two words came across the radio, heard by the world. The Justice League got the message, and they take off to the remnants of Metropolis, destroyed by a twisted and deranged madman. After digging around the rubble, Superman and the Justice League find a hidden bunker in which Lex Luthor has survived the blast, one of Superman's friends in this world. They take off for the Watchtower and they explain to Lex what has happened and why he needed to hide in that bunker. The Joker has set off a nuclear weapon in Metropolis and murdered Lois Lane, Superman's only connection to his humanity. He has gone on a rampage with the Justice League since then, wanting to ensure that no one would ever be harmed in the world again. But has he gone too far? Batman thinks so, as he is now taking a stand against Superman following the death of Nightwing at the hands of Damian Wayne, and a mistake that will haunt the Bat family forever. Superman's mission presses forward with battles all over, but certain ones cause the Justice League members to question if what they are doing is the right thing. Like when Black Adam was just defending his country. Superman, Wonder Woman, and Shazam subdued him, and forced him to say the magical words granting him his powers. This forced him to turn back into a mortal man, something that he hasn't been in centuries, and he ages rapidly. And the change had a chance to kill him. So Shazam didn't think that it would be best for them to do it for fear that the rapid aging would kill the elderly man. Superman and Wonder Woman didn't care, and they forced him to change back and age. They then kept him from saying the magical words of power once again. He didn't die, but Shazam does wonder, is it right to possibly kill someone for your goal? But Shazam's just a child, isn't he? What does he know about what's right? Another time, Wonder Woman takes to a war-torn country, where the women are tortured by an evil ruler. She arrives, lassos up the ruler, and kills him right there in front of everyone. She then turns to the soldiers and takes their rifles and hands them to the women to protect themselves. But is it right to put the rifles in the hands of those that were tortured for so long? Wonder Woman thinks she knows the answer. Batman comes up with a plan to check on Superman's actions, and he has his team kidnap Hawkgirl so that he can replace her with a sleeper agent. The situation is about to get much worse though, as across the galaxy other individuals can see the changing of the tides with Superman and the Justice League. Calabec, one of Darkseid's followers, reports that Superman appears to have gone soft because he's calling an end to all of the fighting. So Darkseid sends his troops with Calabec at the helm. If the Kryptonian has softened, then that is his mistake. Superman decides to hold a press conference based upon what Lex is telling him, that he needs to tell the world what he is doing, because they only see Superman flying in and stopping warlords and thugs, and they are afraid. They don't know what his plans are. So Superman puts on a suit, and he stands in front of the world to let them know. He just wants the world to be safe. When suddenly, boom! A boom tube opens up onto the world, and out steps Calabec and his army, the Parademons. They blast Superman, and he lands right in front of Calabec. "What's wrong, Superman? Defeated so easily?" Calabec chuckles to himself. And then he realizes his mistake as Superman gets up. His eyes say it all. There is no truth. There is no justice. There is no mercy. And he hits Calabec so hard that he launches him into the atmosphere. The Justice League begins to get reports from all over the planet as the parademons are boom-tombing into the heavily populated cities of the world, and they move quickly to try and save as many as they can. Even Batman and his people come together to battle against the demons assaulting Gotham. Their little battle against each other needs to be placed on hold for the sake of the world. Calabec gets picked up by Superman and thrown into the ground, where he lands on him, and he threatens for him to call off the attack. But Calabec sees his chance. "You really haven't changed, have you, Superman?" And he calls in more parademons. Superman finds himself being buried underneath the weight of the parademons, and he pushes out everything that he has to roast them all with his heat vision. He then walks towards Calabec. "Stand up and face me!" Calabec sees the hate in Superman's eyes and he tells him, "I yield, you win, Kryptonian." But Superman won't have that, and he shouts, "You don't get to yield! Fight me!" as he slams Calabec into the ground. "Daddy isn't going to save you this time, Calabec," Superman tells him as he cracks him across the face again, and then he buries him head first into the ground. Elsewhere, the Flash is running as fast as he can to save as many people, but Superman arrives in front of him at light speed. "I need to ask you something, Barry." "Can't this wait, Superman? I'm trying to save everyone I can." "No, this can't wait, Flash. You're the only one that I can talk to about this fast enough for it to matter. Do you see any other way for me to save as many lives as I can without killing all of the parademons in the sky? If you're asking for my permission to kill, I won't give it to you. But do you see any other way to save everyone?" No. So Superman takes to space, and he realizes that what he's about to do, the line that he's about to cross, it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter that these are parademons. He's about to take thousands of lives. And with that, he goes back to Earth at rocketing speeds and kills every parademon in the sky. As he lands on the stage where he planned to give his speech, with particles of destroyed beings in the sky, the world cheers for their savior, Superman. And Batman realizes that what Superman had to do, he realizes that there is no coming back from this. Superman has Lex Luthor begin development of a pill that will grant all of his allies his strength, while Batman tries to get his allies to agree with him and be on his side by revealing his identity after Huntress reveals it by mistake. Both sides meet on the battlefield, yet neither wants to fight because they were friends. They both want the same thing, don't they? Superman calls on Flash to have a friendly game of chess with him while he asks him a few questions. He needs his opinions, and the Flash can think very fast. So Superman begins to play the game, and he starts with his opening statement. "I want to get rid of all of the guns. Checkmate." "If you start with guns, then what? Smoking? Outlaw cigarettes? They kill far more than guns do, Superman. Checkmate. Then we can imprison everyone who speeds in a car. Checkmate. Then we can lock up everyone who leaves a dangerous dog unchained. Checkmate. Then we can kill everyone who doesn't recycle. Checkmate." But while Superman is thinking of the things that the Flash is saying, Ma and Pa Kent are currently being housed in the Fortress of Solitude after they were kidnapped a little while ago. And there with them is Lex Luthor trying to make this special pill. So they ask him to help their son, because Superman is as fallible as everyone else. Later that night, Damian decides to activate the Watchtower's teleportation system to bring himself back to the Batcave, where Alfred finds him. He hasn't returned ever since he accidentally killed Nightwing, and he doesn't know what to do. Batman pulls into the cave and he simply asks his son, "What are you doing here?" Damian takes the hint and he begins to head for the exit, but Alfred turns to Batman. "Your guilt-ridden son has just walked into your home seeking redemption and forgiveness. Please, don't be you, sir." So Batman stops him. "Wait, I want to talk." But Damian snaps at him. "You left me in Arkham! You are wrong and Superman is right. You're just too full of yourself to see it. This isn't about me." "Of course it's about you! It's always about you! Your crusade, your pain, your parents who died, your way, your rules, your legacy, your impossible standards." And Alfred places a hand on the boy's shoulder. "Please, let your father talk." But Damian has taken one of the strength-granting pills, and he throws Alfred into the nearby Bat computer by mistake. "No!" Damian says, shocked at what he's done. And Batman sees his oldest friend injured, and he shouts at Damian, "You!" But Damian has had enough, and he throws Batman into the trophy coin into the cave, causing it to begin to fall. And it would have landed on Alfred, but Hawkgirl arrives suddenly and catches it. Damian runs over to Alfred apologizing. He didn't know how strong he was. But Hawkgirl comes over and takes Damian, and the two of them begin to leave for the Watchtower, until Batman tells them to stop. That's when Damian puts it together. Since when did Hawkgirl listen to Batman and know where the Batcave was, or is even that strong? So Damian lights an incendiary grenade, forcing Martian Manhunter to turn back to normal. He was the sleeper agent that Batman planted, and then Damian runs through the portal leading back to the Watchtower. Damian informs Superman and the Justice League that Martian Manhunter has been disguised as Hawkgirl this whole time, and Batman still has the real Hawkgirl captive. So Superman has decided that Batman has gone too far this time, and he decides to take the one thing away from Batman that Batman still thinks he has: his secret identity. He takes to the airwaves to announce to the world that Batman has Hawkgirl captive, and he will take his anonymity. Batman's true name is... But Batman activates Protocol Icarus and shuts down the Watchtower. With life support off, everyone in the Watchtower begins to panic, and they decide that they need to get the Watchtower back to Earth. But Superman tells them, no. We need to figure out a way to get this message out, because we can't give Batman time to find another answer. So they use Cyborg's human computer to tap into social media. And they start hashtag Batman is Bruce Wayne. The world is now aware of who Batman is, so the Justice League moves quickly to the site where Batman is. And as they land, Superman demands that they give Hawkgirl back. But Batman tells them that he already released her, after Lex and the Watchtower group verify that it's her. Wonder Woman then warns Batman to stop this, or they will respond in force. So, Batman flies away. Well, that was unexpected, Flash says in shock. It's Martian Manhunter, Green Lantern yells, and the Flyers all begin to chase him. Martian Manhunter might be fast, but he can't outrun Superman, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern, so he goes invisible, one of his many powers. But Green Lantern pauses and tells his ring to scan for Martian Manhunter, only to be sucker punched by him. He then stands before Superman. Why are you working against me, John? Because of what you've become. I've watched my planet become overrun by a tyrant, and you are doing the same thing. But Wonder Woman has had enough of everyone talking to Superman about this, and she grabs Martian Manhunter by the head. He changes form, wrapping around her, and he goes inside of her body. He then begins to cut off the oxygen to her brain, slowly killing her. There's only one way, Clark, she says to him, and he knows it to be true. So he blasts Wonder Woman with his heat vision at full power. Martian Manhunter might be as powerful as Superman, but his one weakness is fire, and he burns alive, instantly dying. A few other incidents happen involving Lobo, Green Arrow, Harley Quinn, and Canary, but eventually, Batman calls this team to inform them that Superman has finally gone too far. He killed Martian Manhunter, and they only have one chance to stand against beings this powerful. They need the pill that Lex Luthor has made to make normal humans as strong as Superman, and to get that, they're going to need to break into the Fortress of Solitude. So while his team argues how far is too far, they do join him, and Batman, Catwoman, Captain Atom, Green Arrow, and Canary all go into the teleporter and arrive in front of the Fortress of Solitude. But Batman also has the President of the United States launch an attack on Korea to distract Superman. And that's when they make their move. While Catwoman breaks through the locks, Superman lands with a thud in front of the White House. Why would you do this, Mr. President? You know I would just stop you. Unless you're distracting me. And as Batman enters the Fortress of Solitude, he realizes his mistake. Clark was keeping his parents in the fortress. No, if he thinks even for a second that we came for his parents, I don't even want to know what he'll do. And Batman turns around to see Superman with his hand on Captain Atom's neck, holding him to the ground, and his eyes burning red. He's furious and he isn't thinking straight. Even his parents ask him to let Atom go and end this. But Atom isn't concerned. He isn't a pushover. He has literally 10 nuclear explosions contained in a containment suit, and he punches Superman off of him. The damage to the fortress as Superman went flying through it is massive, and everyone runs to get out of it as the entrance seals itself, but Green Arrow finds himself stuck inside with Superman's parents. While Batman and his group figure out a way that they can get Arrow out of the base, Captain Atom is burying Superman into the ground. Every punch from him is like a mini nuclear explosion, and Superman can't take it. But Wonder Woman takes a swing with her sword at Atom's neck, breaking the containment field in one swing. Atom pauses. Oh, you stupid! I can't hold it any longer. But I guess this is my opportunity. I have my orders, and I'm already dead. So I'm taking you with me! And he grabs Superman and takes off for space, with Wonder Woman following behind yelling out, As the explosion builds in power and energy pours out of Captain Atom, he allows himself to explode with the power of 10 nuclear blasts in space. The explosion is so great that it throws Wonder Woman back to the Earth and destroys every satellite around them. But he failed. Superman survived, and now he's pissed. They tried to kill him. He comes back to the planet to find where Wonder Woman landed, only to find her in a coma. The Flash arrives to pick her up and bring her for medical attention, and Superman returns to the fortress, burning a hole in the ceiling so that he can get inside. Green Arrow sees what's about to happen to him as he's the only member of Batman's group in the fortress of Superman's parents. He knows what he has to do, and he glances at the super pills. Superman burns the stand that the pills are on and tells Green Arrow not to touch them. So, he fires an arrow at Superman. That won't help you, but it'll make me feel better. The arrow bounces off of Superman and ricochets into Pa Kent's shoulder. Superman backhands Arrow, and he throws him through the wall because he hits him so hard. Scrambling on the floor, he tries to remember the longest distance an arrow has ever been fired. And he fires one last one at Superman, over his shoulder and out the hole in the ceiling. Superman then pummels Arrow over and over, blood flying into the air as his parents look in horror at what their son has become, begging him to stop, please. Arrow just closes his eyes, apologizing to the pretty bird, Dinah the Black Canary, prettiest girl in the whole damn world. He then closes his eyes for the last time. As Batman, Catwoman, and Canary all make it to the site of Arrow's last shot arrow, Canary sees his tracker on it, and she walks away slowly. Ollie's not coming back. But on that arrow, he managed to attach one of the super pills. Batman takes the arrow, and he goes to the Batcave to start analyzing the super pill by himself. He only has minutes before Superman will get there, and the only thing distracting Superman right now are both of his parents telling him how far he's gone, and the hologram of Jor-El telling him that he will receive no more help from the fortress, as he is killed. As Superman takes off for the Batcave, Jor-El turns to Superman's human parents. "I'm sorry, I unleashed this on your world." Superman comes crashing through the Batcave ceiling. "I've removed all of the crazies from Gotham, but I left the original," and he grabs Batman with anger burning in his eyes. Behind them, the Bat computer is trying to decipher what the super pill is. "Is that Ollie's blood that you're covered in? He was the most ethical and compassionate friend that we had." Superman pauses, and he turns. "Go on, justify his death. I'll call Black Canary and tell her you did it for the greater good." So Superman throws Batman across the cave. "Stop talking!" Batman runs to a computer and he presses a button that displays pictures of Clark's wedding to Lois Lane. "You swore to honor and protect her, Clark, but you failed to protect her. And honor her? How is this honoring her?" "I'm doing this for her!" Superman shouts. "You stopped doing this for her the moment that she died, when you lost your humanity." Batman then drops a sonic device to stun Superman, and he runs to the super pill with the computer at 96%. But Superman grabs him by the arm. "No." He picks up Batman and he holds him over his head. Batman screams, "Clark, don't!" But it falls on deaf ears as Superman slams Batman's back over his knee, breaking it. As Bruce lays there in agony, Superman begins to walk away. "I will not kill you, Bruce, but I can't have you in the way." And Bruce turns to him. "Wasn't trying to fight you. Was trying to distract you." Superman turns to the computer and he realizes that it has finished, and it uploaded the specs of the super pill somewhere else. "What did you do, Bruce?" "Gave us a fighting chance," Bruce says with a smile. Someone then places their hand on Superman's shoulder. "Clark Kent?" And there stands Alfred. Superman looks in shock as Alfred headbutts him so hard that he forces Superman to bleed. "I'm so disappointed in you. No more hurting my family." And Alfred pummels Superman over and over. He then walks over, picks up Batman, and he walks to the teleporter. In the aftermath, Superman called for a conference for the world to see, and he declared that Batman and his allies are now enemies of the Justice League. He intends to gather his forces and expose Batman and all of those that will aid him, because the last thing Lois got to say to him was, "Save the world," and he intends to. This battle is just beginning, dear listeners, though. Join us next time as we begin the Battle of the Corps, Green Lanterns versus Yellow Lanterns. Who will come out ahead? I'm Benny for Comicstorian, and make sure you follow us on Twitter at Comicstorian and Instagram at Comicstorian, and check out these other great videos on the screen right now. You just might like them.